Hey guys, what's up? Doing a 15-10. It feels like a while. Okay, opponent's rated 1549. I'm 1538 in rapid. And we've got a normal opening, King's Pawn opening. And we've got an Italian, so we're going Rousseau, obviously. So I'm still playing quite a lot of blitz. You may be able to see here in the background that I have some company. Okay, so we've got the Rousseau declined with d3. So what we do now is we put the bishop in the Italian position and we have ourselves a Lucchini. So let me show you, and this is why I'm kind of tired at the moment. We have the cat decided the other day to, well, 2 nights ago, I know, just sitting between me and the wife on the sofa, about 11 o'clock at night, she just decided to give birth. So she's had 5 little kittens, and she's in there. She's in her own little hideaway. Okay, now Lucchini and castles. See, the risk is the knight coming in here, and you have to end up playing d5. If I play knight f6, the knight can still come in. So, I mean, if the knight comes in immediately, you can play f4 to remove the bishop's defense of the knight. I don't think f4 is the move here, but if knight f6 and he comes in anywhere, I have to push d5. I'm gonna try f4. I'm gonna try f4. I think my opponent probably knows very little about the Lucchini Gambit, so really doesn't know what to do. And now this move simply isn't playable because the bishop doesn't defend that square. All right. Okay. See, I think this is a mistake because he's banking on queen h5, but what he hasn't counted on is no, it's not a mistake at all. Wow. So here. Wow, okay. Okay, now. Okay, so we're pawn down. This is not the end of the world. So if d6 now, the queen can't come to here because of my bishop. Because that's probably white's attacking plan. So I think pawn to d6 now. This pawn doesn't hang because the knight defends. I'll probably bring this knight out somewhere. Okay, so good aggressive play by white. See, I really need to learn this Lucchini and castles. Okay, so they're targeting the undefended pawn there. I think queen f6 is fine. Queen f6 takes, knight takes. We are not in a bad place. I can block here with my knight, thereby threatening the bishop. Is that worth considering? There's no pawn that can hassle me. Having said that, it undefends that pawn, so let's play queen out here and try and trade off. We are definitely behind at this point, so we'll go and study the theory, probably at the end of the game. So you're definitely not firing on all cylinders at the moment, because we ended up staying up until 3 AM the other night. So today's Wednesday, so this is Monday night. We tried to catch up on some sleep last night. But the blitz is going okay. I'm still just holding my own, keeping above 1500 in blitz, which is pretty good. I mean, I've never really sustained 1500 plus in blitz for very long before. Blitz record is 1599. It's a hard one to forget. I think knight here looks all right. All lots of little beeps and squeaks and complaints coming from the kittens. She's got 5 this time. She had 6 last time. Does this bother me? No. Queen takes, or even knight takes. Probably queen takes. This is okay. And obviously, white's queen's undefended, so white has an issue. Queen could retreat to there, defended by the knight. Queen can't go there and can't go to anywhere here. So really, white's only got a couple of choices because that doesn't work. So it's either trade or it's going to be retreat. I think retreat is probably the better move of the two. And if it does, maybe, do we want to fianchetto this bishop? I'm definitely thinking about long castles being the way to go. Huh. Take and rook e1, is that your idea? Pawn takes, rook e1 isn't playable. But bishop here is, that could be okay. Get the bishop to c6. So takes here. This pawn is then defended 2 times. The queen is under attack. So after here, where's that queen going to go? I'm just holding the pawn there. It's just something you can't do over the board. So if like just the queen goes here, I might end up having to push. But I think I should probably win the pawn back. I'm not worried now about rook e1. I'm not worried about that, we just said that. Okay, because this pawn's defended 2 times. Knight e7, knight c6. Could be a plan, man. It's a developing move. Comes with tempo. Also now means that the queen is again threatened. Because it's broken the pin on the pawn from the rook. So now you do have to do something with your queen, and what's it going to be? You don't have many options. You can't go there, you can't go there, you can't go there, you can't go there. Okay, right. Righto. Now, here, knight c6, we add a 3rd defender to this pawn. But it also re-pins this guy here, so that would then be a pin. Queen here doesn't work. Bishop there doesn't work. I take, queen takes, queen takes. So I'm thinking knight c6. I'd like to do that, but that drops the b7 pawn. So knight c6, let's think. There's one. So this pawn will have 1, 2, 3 defenders. It's only got 2 attackers. That's okay. Yeah, I think we're okay there. I think we're doing all right. Bishop can now come out. Long castles. Get the rook on the semi-open d-file. Maybe centralize both rooks. Like this. Opponent does have the bishop pair, but currently the dark squared bishop's a bit hampered and there's no queenside development whatsoever. And then think about mobilizing Gary and Harry and getting the boys in on the game. All right, now, if bishop f5, I think the queen only has 2 squares, yeah? Bishop f5, queen clears out, and I long castle. Queen can come back to here. I've got an alternative is a simple bishop d7 castles, which is kind of safe. Are they planning to push the pawn up? Is that the reason for c3? If I do this queen here, rook here, the queen comes across having to poke at this b7 pawn, thinking. Bishop here, queen here. I can't go there because there's a battery. Here pushes, I castle. There, hang on. Bishop d7, d4, castles. Or how about this, just pushing f4. f4 to f3, pushes. See, neither of my knights is in a position to attack the queen right now. It's too far away. Here, queen goes here, I come back. Doesn't work because queen takes. Here, queen comes here. Rook d8, hitting the queen. 1, 2, 3 defenders. This will add 3 attackers. That's not too bad. I think we can get away with that. I think maybe we can. So bishop d7. Idea is long castles. Maybe rook he8. I need to know this line. I mean, people quite often decline the Lucchini with castles, and I keep forgetting how to deal with it. I think it's meant to be inaccurate from white to castle. Okay, they've developed a knight. I've got a castle now, haven't I? Yeah? Got a... So knight here adds another attacker onto the pawn, but either of my rooks can come here, and I'm considering rook he8. Yeah. That knight's not going to attack my pawn anytime soon. This rook is defended twice, so if this pawn pushes, for example, I can just capture. And then that's a discovery on the queen. The queen's in some trouble. Wow. You're a good girl, Morgan. Doing a great job. Materials equal. We're doing okay. The centre is not hotly contested right now, really. I mean, I've got this dark square control here. White has no pawns on the 4th rank. This move is now possible. The queen can't go there, 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 there. Queen only can go back to there now, which I kind of like. There's no counterattack from the knight, there's no counterattack from the bishop, and this bishop is still looking really, really awkward. Okay. Now, hit the queen here. Now, with the bishop moving though, the queen's now got a couple more squares where she can go safely. Here though, I'm going to have 2 attackers on that pawn right there. Here, if she comes here, that's 2 attackers on the knight. I think my bishop... Well, no, I can... Might even lift my rook, I don't know. Here I've got knight there, maybe. I could kick the bishop. Dark square bishop isn't playing yet. Hasn't decided to join in yet. Kick the bishop. What if the bishop just retreats though? I don't want to end up like doing a double kick here with these pawns. I could lift the rook now. That doesn't work, and neither does that. So I could lift the rook now to defend the knight. Kind of liking that idea. It does block in my bishop though. Do I want to mobilize my bishop first, or do I want to stick my bishop here and try and tie the queen down to the defense of the knight, because otherwise I take g takes and it's goodbye pawn structure. Knight h4. Always try and think of different candidate moves. Does kind of hang a pawn, but these aren't like super meaningful pawns. Let's go back to this idea. Queen here threatens to take out the knight and then win this. So yeah, I'm going back to this. Rook e6. Down to 8.5 minutes. Oh. That's a random kind of pawn push, okay. It's just time to move this pawn out of the way. I know my opponent's aggressively minded. Doesn't work. It's not defended there. This move then maybe. Takes. Pawn here. Sorry, rook d6. It's currently defended twice though. Yeah, I kind of thought that. But now, a6, the bishop comes here. It's the only square. If I can move the knight, we've got bishop tension, which kind of works for me. Here, bishop here. Just drop the rook back. I'm okay with that. Bishop's going to come here, drop the rook back, or drop it over here. I don't know. That opens up this bishop again, doesn't it? Well, either move does. Then I've got maybe queen there. See, with the bishop here, the queen can only now retreat. So bishop here, wherever the rook goes, I've got bishop f5 forcing the queen backwards. And then suddenly, black's looking slightly more developed than white. And this advanced pawn on f4 I kind of still like. Question is, where does my rook want to go? Let's just drop it back here for now. Always got this option. But now, bishop f5. Again, the knight can't attack my queen. This bishop can't attack my queen. I'm all right. Here, queen has to run all the way home. And then I've got two attackers on this pawn. It'll be defended twice. If the queen's here, still defends this knight, still defends this pawn. It's probably time to mobilize the guys. Is this even a plan? Takey. Could be. Bishop to here, queen back here, knight there, attacking the knight. Also frees up Gary to move up and start representing. Got 4 defenders on this pawn, which is nice. Okay, that changes nothing. Plan A. Do it. Oops. This is forced, I think. Still going to be 2 defenders on this pawn, 2 attackers. There's no point in pushing this, is there? If pawn takes, I've got rook takes, really dominating this. There, hitting the knight. Knight can't counterattack anything. E4, is E4 a thing? E4, pawn takes, rook takes, queen runs away. Yeah, kind of liking that. That's a big no-no. Why not? Rook takes, queen cannot capture. You've got a spike check. There you go. Okay, so queen over there. Now I'm thinking like this. Or are there any other ideas? Like knight here hits the knight and hits this bishop. Knight here. If rook takes, I take the knight with check. 7.5 minutes. We do have an increment. So again, when you've got an increment, the whole point of the game is to get into a winning position. Get into a winning endgame if you have to. Right, now this is unacceptable. White could drop the bishop back, but then white is suddenly falling all over himself to retreat. Okay, there we go. Okay, I have rook takes. I have queen takes. Queen takes threatens takes mate. So what that would do is it would prompt this bishop to move. And these two squares are rubbish, so the bishop would come... In fact, the bishop can't go there, so queen takes it is. Okay, I'm threatening to crush now. Rook takes... Right, what are we going to do? Queen takes, I'm threatening this bishop that is defended. Queen takes, I'm also threatening g2. Knight comes out, doesn't work. I'm thinking queen takes. And the bishop cannot come to here. So suddenly the whole game's kind of resolved in the center there, with just a couple of forcing moves, pushing my opponent backwards. Well, that's a surprise. Okay, here, hang on, knight here. I'm not threatening mate because queen defends. If I push there, what about this? No. He's still got the bishop pair, but that bishop's not the cleverest bishop in the world. This rook defends here. Doesn't work because I've got queen and bishop. Rook here, hitting this guy. Bishop goes there to hit the rook. Push pawn pushes. That's pretty good actually. I like that. I like that. I think we can work with this. Queen, I don't know. Queen to there, bishop in there. So maybe I can't drop the queen back. I think g3. I probably said g6. G3 is forced. h5, h4. h5 doesn't hurt anything. It's not in the knight's way. I could put my queen here, knight. Okay. This. It's a fork on bishop and that. Okay. I feel like my queen wants to come here though. Here. And then the knight can now come in because this pawn here is pinned, right? The knight, if the knight comes into one of these squares, where can he go from there? I've got to check forcing the king into the corner. Doesn't really serve the greater good though. Maybe it's going to be h4. h4, this pawn can go nowhere. They might have to push. My queen would have to retreat then. h4 push, queen retreat. We are starting to peel the bugger open, so that's all right. Queen's looking at this bishop, which is currently defended only by white's queen. 6 minutes 05 on the clock. h4 is my current preferred move. It's all tactics and calculation at this point. So I don't think I want to trade my queen off. Bishop can come in here and imprison the king. That's not a bad thing. But I am facing an endgame against the bishop pair. Actually, if they push h3, I can just capture. And that's definitely favourable, actually. So I'm thinking h4 now is looking good. Because I've got queen-bishop battery on h3. And to stick a bishop in that corner would be... I don't know, I mean, it looks pretty good, but then it doesn't actually... Oh, it does imprison the king, because the king won't then be able to go to any of these squares. The king will only have g1, h2 to play with. And then you've got to be super careful about a rook coming in somewhere, mating your ass. Is that even a move? No, because bishop takes. Hello? What is this? Okay. If I take queen takes with check, I come here. Queen goes there with check. The dark took bishop is currently out of the game. If I do this, what is going on? Can I cover that square somehow? Can my bishop just drop back? There, queen captures the pawn with check. King to here. Otherwise, I'm just going to fall into this. I don't know. Ooh. Or here. You take. Then you've got to keep delivering checks, and that bishop can't play, so you're just giving up a bishop, are you not? This is the big question. Take, queen takes. I come here. Don't know. If queen in here. I don't know. I just don't know. There. Queen takes with check. Let's say I run to here. Rook d1 check. I come to here. Queen's out of checks. Right, I'm going to pull the trigger. Got 4.5 minutes. Okay, this is I think. Now the queen has no more checks, right? Because she can't go there. If rook takes rook, I might be able to come in here and threaten mate, which would force the queens off the board, unless my opponent can keep up the pressure, and I don't know. Okay, now, there's only two checks. There's this and this. That is not a check, and that is not a check. So the queen cannot check me. The only checks there are from the rook, and I just snatch off the rook. If I do this, does he have a perpetual? There? Back here. No, he doesn't. I think I've got him. I don't think he can win being a piece down. Okay, now this, and where's your next check coming from? It isn't. I'm going to have this and this. The only way to stop me is to drop your queen back to f1, which you currently can't do because you've just come off there. Okay. Now I've got that. What checks do you have now? You've got taking the pawn. What about like knight here? You take the pawn, I drop back there. Or I just like run off into this court. Oh, that does then invigorate the bishop. Queen here, you take the pawn. I come, no, I can't come there. I come here. You give check. Don't know. Right, I'm thinking this is safe. No. Because then, okay, 3.5 minutes. I have no checks. If queen here, this is the question. Can white actually finish me off? Queen here. You've got to do it all with checks and completely forcing moves. If I stay on the light squares, this bishop doesn't have anything to do with it. All I have to do is get to here. So shall I just start running now? Yeah. Queen can take there. Don't give this bishop the chance to move with check and to enter the game. Player 2 has entered the game. Right, all I have to do, I think, is get to there, and the queen can't do nothing. Because I'm 2 moves away from mate. Oh. Wow, okay. Back to here. You can give check a few ways, this is fine. And now to here. And what do you have? You can move that pawn, doesn't do anything, because my queen is coming in, man. And there's no escape for the king. Once the queen gets to there, the king can't get out. This pawn can't even move. Right, and now you've got to give up the queen. Okay, but the question is then, I'm only going to be up... I'm not going to be up anything. I'm not actually up any material whatsoever. So here, queen comes in. We trade. And black has this trio of pawns on the queen side that I don't know if I can stop. Okay, knight here, bishop here prevents the queen from going to that square, yeah? Bishop here, and now there's no queen f1. Two minutes 46. Opponent's just clocked 8 minutes. Right, here. And now you, how do you stop mate in 2? How? If there's any, is there any possible way to stop mate in 2? You thinking of queen there and trying to come in? Now I've got g5. Man, this is a nail biter, isn't it? You have 2 minutes 49 seconds. Okay, so this is your plan. Put the queen here, yeah? Okay, well that suits me. That really traps in your queen. And my bishop is actually guarding all of these squares right now. All of them. So I think I can now think about maybe mobilizing my king, try and come over to here, because that queen cannot vacate her post. The minute she moves there, it's like Squid Game. Red light. You know? That queen cannot move a muscle. She can't go there. She can't go there. She can't do nothing because it's mate a Rooney. The king can't do nothing. So yeah, exactly. So you're now tied down to. Is this even a thought? I don't know. Is that a thought? God knows. This is the good thing about... So what we've got here is we've got opposite coloured bishops ending. Yeah. Now I need to make sure this queen can't move with check. So this bishop can guard all of these pawns. It can pick them off one by one at its leisure. Okay. 3 minutes 01. And the queen is completely stuck. And I can make moves. In fact, that prevents any ideas of queen e1 check, right? And now I can... How do you stop me coming over here? I'm not even sure I want to do that, though, because I don't want to block the bishop's defense of this. So maybe I should be coming to, like, this square here. Something like that. Let's just check. This doesn't work, does it? There, queen takes... I can take out the bishop. Don't think that helps me. I don't think I want to do that. Okay, this. Now you can't go there or there. So the bishop's going to have to come to one of these squares, yeah? Otherwise that pawn falls. All right. Let's think. There. Queen must take. I take. King takes. Dunno. Just dunno. Oh! Is that possible? Is that the way to do it? I think it might be, you know? Like a smothered mate thing. Why didn't I think of that before? And the queen can't even move. Is it? Check. Mate. Boom! That was a game and a half, man, in the Lucchini Gambit. Anyway. Oh, wow! Loved it. Quick look at the game review. And we're also going to pull up Studies, Black, Rousseau Gambit against the Italian, and let us quickly revise Lucchini, decline d3, Lucchini castles. Okay, so this is the Lucchini, this is castles. Now my hunch is knight f6, and it is knight f6. Knight f3. And just push. 72 accuracy from Hunty. Okay, I had a lead and then blew it. And I got it back. And we got mate. This is excellent. And f4. And that's the brilliant move. Okay. Right, so there's a reason it's not f4. And that is the reason. Boom. Wow. Wowzers trousers. I knew it was knight f6. I bloody knew it. Anyway, that was fun. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, because I enjoyed it a lot. Okay, thanks for watching, everybody. See you all very soon.